Caught in the crossfire, girlfriend and her family resent me over her choice to take Plan B. Before I share my story, I want to acknowledge that I understand the importance of being responsible and careful in relationships. Now, let me provide some context. I am a 22-year-old male, and I've been in a relationship with my 21-year-old girlfriend for about 3 years. One significant difference between us is our intimacy drives, as my girlfriend's is higher than mine. Around a year into our relationship, she suggested that we have intimacy without using rubber, relying on the pull-out method instead. Initially, I agreed, but after a month, I realized this made me anxious, so I asked if we could go back to using rubber. While she did not explicitly say no, she expressed her frustration, claiming I was overly anxious and stating that she knew her body better than I did. Every time I tried to reintroduce rubber, she would discourage it with the same arguments. I felt reluctant but went along because she assured me that in case of an accident, she would either take Plan B or use the abortion pill. She seemed to enjoy the idea of the possibility of being pregnant during intimacy, while I always withdrew before ejaculating. Fast forward to August 2023, after having intimacy with her, I pulled out as usual. She wanted to have intimacy again, but I hesitated, concerned about accidentally getting her pregnant if I were to ejaculate during the subsequent act. While I went to the bathroom to clean up, she encouraged me to go ahead and finish inside her, promising to take Plan B afterwards. I reluctantly agreed, and right afterward, she freaked out, insisting she didn't think I would actually do it. However, I immediately took her to get Plan B, paid for it, and ensured she understood how it worked. She brushed off my anxieties, telling me everything was fine. A few days later, her parents found the wrapper while going through her garbage and reacted with anger. They claimed that the pill was dangerous and cited unreliable sources to support their views on her potential infertility or the need to have her uterus removed. Their conspiracy theory mindset even connected it to the virus vaccine in my blood, arguing that I could make her infertile. My girlfriend, under pressure from her parents, told them she took the pill because she felt coerced by me, conveniently omitting the fact that I had accompanied her to buy it. She called me, expressing her disappointment and stating she should have ended our relationship sooner. Surprisingly, her anger wasn't directed at me for finishing inside her, but rather for providing her with the pill. Her parents suggested that getting an abortion would have been a safer option. Understanding her concern, I said okay. Later that night, she apologized and attributed her behavior to the hormonal effects of the pill. Simultaneously, she informed me that we couldn't see each other for a while because her parents would kick her out. A month passed, and just yesterday, we finally met. She was under surveillance from her parents, which meant we had to walk around her neighborhood carefully. 5 minutes into seeing each other, she suddenly glanced at her phone, spotted her mom approaching, and started running without explaining why. Afterward, I tried to have a conversation, expressing that I believed getting her the pill was not wrong, especially considering the lack of communication regarding her objections to it. I also mentioned feeling uncomfortable with how her family treated me. In response, she revealed that her parents had tested different therapists to find one who would help her let go of me, blaming me for the pill incident and denying my right to feel like a victim. At this point, guilt consumes me. She was my first girlfriend, and I genuinely love her. Despite recognizing that ending the relationship seems to be the best course of action, I find it difficult to go through with it, especially knowing she will have to deal with her unsupportive parents alone. Update: I finally had the conversation with her, ending our relationship over a phone call. It lasted for 40 minutes, during which time she accused me of yelling while I shared my feelings about feeling manipulated and gaslit. Good riddance. Update: caught in the crossfire, girlfriend and her family resent me over her choice to take Plan B after making the difficult decision to break up with my girlfriend. The aftermath became quite complicated. It didn't go well, and she took the news very hard. Our conversation ended with me abruptly hanging up, leaving her devastated and urging her to find someone else. The next day, I received an unexpected call from her father. He confronted me, claiming that he knew about 2 incidents involving her. He mentioned an intimate encounter where I had finished, and another incident where I had purchased a Plan B pill. He threatened to press charges if I ever tried to contact her again in any manner. Adding to the complexity, her mother also works in the same office as me. Though she is technically my manager, most of my tasks are assigned by a more senior individual who holds a favorable opinion of me. I am uncertain about how this situation will unfold and what implications it may have for my job. Feeling both scared and heartbroken, I considered discussing with my ex what her father had told me, in an attempt to shed light on her parents' questionable behavior. However, I am terrified that she might inform them, potentially leading to false allegations against me. Moreover, I am worried about my job and overwhelmed by the whole situation, leaving me feeling like a complete mess. I have a relatively small Instagram account with only 5 followers, and she happens to be one of them. I contemplated using a story post to deliver the message to her, but I am afraid that even this simple act could escalate into something worse. Update: taking everyone's advice into account, I have chosen to cut off all contact. Regarding my work situation, I am scheduled for a one-on-one meeting with her mother tomorrow. To ensure my safety and protect my rights, I plan to discreetly record the audio using my phone, as permitted by the laws in my area. If she behaves unprofessionally or crosses any boundaries, I will immediately escalate the matter to HR. Otherwise, it may be best to let things settle without stirring up unnecessary conflicts. As for the conversation with her father, it occurred over the phone, and I unfortunately didn't record it. Nonetheless, I do have messages from my ex over the past few months where she explicitly describes her parents' abusive behavior and asks for guidance. These messages should serve as evidence to defend myself, although I sincerely hope it doesn't come to that.